we in there.
Get myself situated.
You straight, bro?
Yeah, I'm
good, man. The people
I'm
watching,
getting it together.
man.
I'm getting it together.
It's Effort will do it live. Let me
Look at
turn
my
that
boy.
music
Look at my
on.
boy.
Let me turn that there
Yeah,
now.
before we get caught on that
Yeah,
again. We all
yeah.
got the before we get Kiki Palmer again.
Yeah, let's not do that. But welcome back. Effort will do it live. The To Be Fair Show pre-show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Oh, yeah, real.
It's Q.
And we back. Another one lined up. Got a few topics. Things happened this week. We gonna discuss them.
Hey, what did we name this show? Oh yeah, it's a lot happened this week.
What you got for us, Tone? You got.
I mean, I'm looking at what y'all got here. I mean, like the Deion Colorado thing. I think that's like.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Newton, you want to start that off?
Yeah, Newton. Go ahead and start that off, man.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Who is Newton?
Oh yeah,
Johnny P himself.
Oh, me. Oh, okay.
That's why I figured they didn't know what they were talking about.
No, I think he was stalling. Go ahead.
No, why am I like the spokesperson for Deion now? Like,
you the one that bring every Deion topic up.
The sports topics.
you bring every Deion topic up. It's you.
You the sports anchor.
Oh, well, y'all watch. If y'all watch, y'all seen what happened? That was not me.
No, I didn't watch. So tell me what happened.
He got they got spanked. Old fashioned ass whooping. That's what he.
No, I did know they got spanked. I heard about it from the internet, but they ain't.
Yeah, that joke was all over.
Hey man, that's.
I wasn't really.
It was all over social.
I made my comment at like halftime. I said it looked like Bishop Sycamore playing IMG. If you understand that reference, the dude from not IMG, Bishop Sycamore. He was just on Joe Budden podcast this week, but it was in essence a high school full of adults. They got their ass kicked by like the top prep school in America. It was like. They might have lost like 70-0 or something.
It was like 90-0, like 96. Like
they got served. But yeah, no, I will say if I give like just my breakdown of what I seen and what I saw, one, it was 35-0 at halftime. But then the Oregon coach at halftime, like when he was talking to the lady, he was taking shots still then. Like he said, we ain't satisfied yet. I hope everybody that's been watching is watching today because we got the real Heisman candidate. Like he was popping shit. I was like, oh damn.
Said the Cinderella story over.
Yeah, I was like, oh damn.
I mean, if you watch it, Deion even last week he said he about 6-7 dogs away.
Yeah,
he talking about them trenches. Them boys got pushed around.
Well, specifically the offensive line.
Yeah, they
Shador. Like it was a couple times where he actually could have just stepped into the pocket. But a lot of times that bit was it was nothing there. It was almost free rushes running through.
But by the time you get that one break as a quarterback, you so shook.
Yeah.
And you like the boys coming hitting you every play, and then the one, I can step up now. It's like your brain don't even be processing it. You shook.
Yeah.
So
and
they ain't really have a chance.
That's why I was saying before the past 2 weeks. Yeah, I said that. Like the real test now. It's gonna be these next two games because now they're playing real ranked teams now.
Well, I mean, at the same time, based on I don't follow it as much as some people did. I haven't watched any of the games, but I've kind of went back and looked at highlights. But from my understanding, the expectation should have never been what it was. They're just now getting this. This is new. They're building at this moment. We talking about they're playing at a much larger school, a much more financially.
Well,
stable.
That's not true.
Oh, that's not. So the school's not.
So they're all inside the same division. I think it's Pac-10 or something like that.
Yeah, similar.
They just suck. They suck, but like the money isn't in the size of the school isn't a thing.
So what is the what's the name of the school they play?
Oregon.
So it's not. I don't know. I don't know a lot about
college. Well, Oregon always nice to sports.
Yeah, Oregon.
Oh, so they always good. Okay, that's what I was about to really kind of.
Because the dude Phil Knight, he went to Oregon, so they get a lot of Nike money.
Okay.
Like they've been.
And they get like top recruits.
Top recruits.
Is it true that they have the real Heisman? Whoever this guy is.
Bo Nix is.
No.
What position he play?
All right, so stop. So Bo Nix is a Heisman candidate.
Hopeful.
All right, right now everybody's a hopeful. But
what position he play?
He's quarterback.
Oh, okay, shit. Okay.
So then there was also like the talk of like him being put ahead. I mean, the talk of Shador being put ahead of him.
Yeah.
First half, he was 22 for 24.
Oh, sheesh. Shador shouldn't have been ahead of Bo Nix, but Bo Nix isn't really like that. He had a good game. The reason they won was because of the trenches.
But wait, doesn't he have the most touchdowns ever by any college football quarterback? like through his career. Like that, I'm pretty sure that was a stat that I heard him say.
He couldn't win.
He's also like the first player to have like maybe it was like over 40 or 50 touchdowns at 2 different schools.
Is Bo black?
Nah, I don't think so.
This is like I mean, he's good, but
see, he's a pocket quarterback.
Oh, like
he can move too.
He's like Justin Herbert, if you know anything.
No, matter of fact, y'all can just remove me from this whole rest of this conversation because I have no fucking idea.
But I'm hating a little bit because he came from the SEC.
It's good that you can acknowledge it.
So I'm hating a little bit.
Honesty is
and he's good, but I still don't think he's the best quarterback in the Pac-12.
I might not. But we're getting past my like I only have surface level football shit for you. But I don't know. I heard he said they playing for clicks.
Mm-hmm.
We playing for wins. Maybe we might unpack that on the show. What you think, Johnny?
No, I think it's a metaphor for a lot, you know. And it puts things in light. Like I say, I like Deion. I think they go eventually back. They ain't gonna like they can win more games this year. So I mean, if you go 10-1, 11-1, 10-2, that's still a great season.
Right,
so, I mean,
comparative to the previous year, for sure.
Like they won one game last, so I think like he's still doing his thing. I don't think Deion necessarily is playing for click. I think that's the narrative. When you played against him, you will say that like because it's flashy and it looks good, but as opposed to like playing for wins, there are certain things that you do, and I think Deion is playing when he's just flashy. But it sounded good. I do have a more broader metaphor for that. I think we'll unpack on the show.
Okay.
But yeah, shout out that boy Deion. He'll be back, and you know this good game by Oregon.
We'll be back.
They got USC next week, so they get another chance to either get that ass whoop or get an upset.
That's
so,
rough.
Hey, that's the beautiful thing about football is you get another. You know,
well, that's life in general.
Yeah, life in general. Yeah, you know, you get to swing at it.
All right, so shit. I guess we ready to hop into it.
Are we on the memes?
I see memes pulled up already.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting there.
I said we start with Rel. We missed it last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we missed you last week.
So I understand.
Yeah, you might have seen something.
I don't know.
Good in here.
I don't know.
Let's see.
Tell me what you.
If you see one of them specifically, you want to.
Oh no! Go back down to the lumberjack looking dude.
Tell me what you hear the sentence as being.
Tell me this ain't crazy. I showed this to somebody last night. I'm like, bro, this is crazy how easily we can be swayed and it's crazy. Just wait.
Don't hear.
Yeah, let people see it.
Pause it real quick.
Hold on.
I don't know what I'm hearing.
Trying to pause it good, bro. Man, I'm trying to pause the video. It keep doing its own thing.
So what's up? But was that the concept that we wanted to kind of go with?
What you mean?
It sounds like depending on what a person said before,
right?
It changed.
What is the word? How easy it is for us to be coerced to believe what we hear, and it's just based off like you just hearing this first thing, and then you know what I mean. If somebody it just like the sound good thing, and how much we follow. It was crazy. I wish I could think of exactly what I was saying to my to the person I was speaking with last night about it. It was like how easy it is for us to be kind of shifted and provided a narrative to run with. So like if you could just listen to how literally each thing he says, you literally can hear it. And the question up top is like, okay, what do you hear? And then once he tells you the first thing, you immediately hear everything that he's saying. Then he could say something else, and then you immediately hear exactly what he was saying you would hear.
That remind me of like, you ever seen that show like Brain Games, like where like it's just all these like mental tricks and like how much the mind, like how suggestible the mind is to where like we only operate based off a certain number of facts and stuff, and then if you fill those gaps in, you can make somebody think whatever you want to think just based on how you fill those certain gaps in. So
I've been having fun lately, like just coming up with my own conspiracies around like how shit would happen. You know what I mean? Just like ones that I'd be like, well, I wonder why I ain't heard that yet. Like that makes sense. Yeah, man. Give me a minute. I'll think of one. Give me a minute. I'll double back.
Oh, you got the new 5 conspiracies? That's what you telling me?
They got some like literally. It's so easy to like. You can connect.
Tone
dots.
gonna hit us with choices.
You know,
again.
I got some conspiracy.
Tone said we gonna go religion, politics,
or conspiracy.
All right. Yeah, I guess what's next?
Let's go to one more of mine. Like go scroll up.
All right.
Let me see. I think I got another good like conversational piece one.
Let's see.
Which one was that? I guess just click on bro right there. I don't remember exactly what that was, but then we can get off me after this.
You gotta let the people see it.
Yeah, bro. This thing, Facebook acts stupid. Like, dang. It don't want to play the sound. Now I want to pause, but it didn't want to pause before.
You gotta let the people see it too.
No promo.
Right.
Thing ain't playing no sound, bro.
I think it's still muted.
No, it's not.
Like you click the sound in the corner.
Little left bottom or top right.
Yeah, top.
Yeah, it's not. All right, there we go.
There's a sauce that you make of a man's masculinity and a woman's femininity. Those things don't, just like y'all.
Refresh the page.
You gotta hit it again.
I don't know exactly what it is. You honestly feel threatened by them because that's the one thing that you probably lack as a human. Is this empathy vehicle that you're so afraid to lay claim to, when really it's necessary for your manhood. I believe that the most well-rounded individuals, male and female, must have the ability to be what y'all call this masculine. When it's as a woman, it's like when it's two becomes one. There's got to be some bleed over. There's this purge. There's this sauce that you make of a man's masculinity and a woman's femininity. Those things don't, just like y'all mesh, so does that energy. I would not expect my woman to not pick up some sort of masculine traits, but these are mine. I get to watch her use my slang, carry that like I carry it. That's the most beautiful thing. As long as we call it a war, we will forever be intimidated when we see it in ourselves. But that's really just women touch you in a way that make you softer, bro. Yeah. And you must acquire that to survive.
I don't know what a feminine man is. I don't
know exactly what it is.
You are checking. Okay.
Right. And you know something that the crazy thing is that when I was watching it, I was like, man, you know, that's something that I done struggled with, like ever since becoming like what I would say a man. You know what I mean? What I defined as a man growing up, as I'm becoming that, or it was like the hardest thing was to think that like, even the idea we've been saying like men submitting to their women, and like I was letting that verbiage slide, but like for me, it doesn't feel well to say like you remember how you keep saying like, yeah, but you submit to her in certain areas and she submits to you in certain areas as well. Just hearing that verbiage is really triggering. You know what I mean?
Stop triggering him, Johnny.
And so like the idea of saying that like as a man you should be in tune with feminine traits. Your woman will give you more feminine traits and you should accept these things willingly. And then like to me it's just like, yeah, nah, like hearing that soon as he said it, my bad. Soon as he said it, I was like,
wake up. Nah. Hey, who remember when he said this?
Kind of with magnets in the realm. Would be something as a man that you would learn from your woman, that like to build off or to, let's say, adapt some of her feminine qualities. What would be something?
Some feminine qualities?
Yeah, because he was saying it goes both ways.
Being able to be emotionally vulnerable, probably. That'd be like one of the first ones that I can get easily rattled off.
For me, like empathy, because I've always found like women are better at like knowing, like sometimes you ain't gotta tell a woman how you feeling; they can just feel, you know. And sometimes that empathy is like a lot of time you don't, like that's what you get from your mother, you know, like the women in your family. You learn that kind of nurturing side, that empathy, that grace for people.
Making sure that you're expressive. I think sometimes we get caught up in like the stoicness of being a man, that we repress a whole bunch of things. That'd be another one.
Yeah, I agree with all of those. I mean, I was just thinking like, yeah, just hearing it. That's the thing, is like, that's why I don't really like buzzwords, because they're so triggering. And it's like, nah, but at the end of the day, the empathy thing, I think empathy is my biggest one. Like I have to continue to like I don't really like excuses. And in the military, like you know, excuses is like not something that they care about. Like you're gonna get the same consequence. They just literally would just listen to you just to, I guess, just to hear what you're gonna say. And then well, you're still gonna get that. So you know what I mean? It's hard for me to like develop that level of empathy and with kids, I'm learning it. You know what I mean? Having kids and then like, you know, I don't know, man. I'm still learning, honestly, as far as that empathy piece goes.
Yeah, no. Yeah, again, I think that it's a lot. And I think that the moment that we don't look at things as like simply black and white, man, woman, male, female, masculine, feminine, and we just try and be well-rounded human beings that can be in touch with all parts of them, and not, because I think when we put the word like feminine on something, then it makes us as a man be less likely to want to engage in it. In comparison to like if we just said, hey, let's all be emotionally intelligent and do all the things that comes with that, and we're not assigning a gender to it. Same difference with like a woman being masculine. It's certain times, especially if we're talking about an adult woman that say 25 that's living on her own, she has to have some masculine traits, because what we deem as masculine are also the things that we say is being an adult.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is like understanding that we are in a transitionary phase, and like we assign a lot of the things that we would say a man did back in the day, we literally assign those to being masculine, and then the things that the woman did back in the day, we assign those to being feminine. And we just live in a different time now, to where you can't really assign things, especially if you don't.
Niggas better learn how to clean them dishes. Look at it.
Hey, if you ever live by yourself, you have to know how to clean dishes and cook.
Yeah, for sure.
Do your laundry.
You ain't want to nod your head quick on that one. You was like, nah. I seen it. Go ahead.
For me in my personal life, I don't have to, so I don't really, you know what I mean, worry about that part. But I mean, that's just me in my personal life. Everybody, and see, the thing is, I'm just no. At the end of it, it's not a flex, because at the end of the day, there are areas where those modern relationships are fire. You know what I mean? When you talk about math, them joints is fire.
Niggas
that math be doing its work.
Wash
no, I'll wash dishes. I'll wash them, but I just don't have to.
I
just don't have to, bro.
Hey,
talk to him, bro. I like it. Hey, I'm just telling my truth, bro. When the last time you washed some fucking dishes?
Earlier.
A sink of dishes.
Well, I washed like a quarter sink of dishes today and this morning.
I ain't actually about a quarter sink. I said a sink of dishes.
All right, so
I actually, when you wash a sink of dishes,
I say within the last 2 weeks, probably. Yeah, but I mean, we kind of wash dishes maybe 2 to 3 times. Like we also don't like cook every day. Like we'll cook in abundance.
Yeah, I see. Like
so like maybe twice a week, and then we have paper plates and shit like that. So it's not a bunch of dishes that really accumulate. And then dishes is also one of QJ chores. But there's also times where, like if it's a bunch of dishes, I'll easily clean the dishes. I think it just be like to me, most things are just whoever is available to do it, just go do it. And it and
that's why
should be simple about it.
I think it's super fire. Like I think that both the traditional and modern, like once you pick one, just get someone that picks the same one as you. You know what I mean?
But
that's just the main
I think
thing.
That's
really just it. You know what I mean? Just get someone that picks the same one as you, and you'll be fine. So it's not really something to like bash one or the other. It's just, hey, whatever one, you know what I mean? You choose one and find one that chooses that.
I think I got a good little meme to go over to next from where y'all at now. And so we just gonna play this one right here. Yeah, I ain't gotta actually be prepared for this one. I can slide
2 vows. Oh, these 2 women as
it's 2 different vows.
Oh, y'all about to have a field day.
Yeah, we gonna see how this goes.
I think I might have seen one of them with
for work,
for richer,
for
poor,
or poorer.
Oh, but both of them are talking to me. Okay.
Yeah. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Brill made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness, and in health. To love, cherish, and to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. Oh. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right. For better?
All right.
Better.
Her where she
In a million words to say, to tell you how much I love you. But one thing I want to tell you and promise you, Miles, is that I'll forever submit to you. I'll forever submit to you. I'll forever submit to you, Miles. I'll forever respect you, Miles. I'll forever honor you, Miles, as the head of our home and no other. There is no other, there is no one, no plans of hell will ever prosper in our marriage and will ever hold me not to be a wife that is a Proverbs 31 woman. I will become that woman that builds the home as I follow you, as you follow Christ. That is the only thing that we will do in our household. And I promise and I vow that in heaven they hear. On earth, I declare and decree, I shall be in a million words to say, to tell.
I don't believe her.
Yeah, I don't believe it was
like,
a little OD.
Like that's what I said. She
stuttered on Proverbs 30:31. She stuttered. She stuttered.
That was a bit
for sure.
That's a lot.
Y'all think that was OD? Y'all think that was for sure?
No, I think it was OD for sure.
I think like a lot of women now. Disclaimer: I think from Africa. They're in Africa. The first vows was in America. The second one was in.
Oh well, we know the American joke. We know the American joke.
Oh, Tony, you turned into a passport, bro?
No, it's more so about like
if shit go left, I'm turning into one.
Yeah, it's more so like
I ain't gonna
say that. I love black women. I love them too. Like I love like.
That
I'm
man,
not
he got
sitting
a
there
black
going
woman.
there.
Two black women.
I just wanted to show like the black, like that's another conversation. African
you talking about
black
and African?
Same,
it's not the
like
same.
that's another conversation. But like yeah, just
my bad.
Seeing like how these different countries, like how their women is with them, and then how hesitant the woman. That wasn't the first time. The woman in the first one, that wasn't like my first time seeing something like that.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
I've actually seen somebody I know do that, and I'm like, y'all think this funny? This is becoming a funny thing. Like, nah, if you broke, I'm out, and that's where it becomes a thing of like, dang, what is we getting married for now? Because the marriages that was lasting, don't nobody want to talk about that. They be talking about the happy marriages, but they don't talk about the fact.
There's another part that kind of gets me too.
Mm-hmm.
So as I sit and think, what makes, and I'm assuming what would have made this hard for the first woman to actually say these words was because she's making this vow to God. That's what that whole thing is, vow to him and God. No, it's a vow to him, but she's speaking, she's telling God or him and God that that's the whole ceremonial part of it. It's supposed to be you pretty much making that vow to your partner and to God. That's the symbolism of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be the part that would make it hard, because if you believe, and that's the thing, I don't understand it. What's the part of all of this marriage and all these different things? If all of these things are just symbols of the spirituality, if there's not the faith, then what is all of this about? We're doing a whole bunch of symbols that are that go to, you know what I mean, a specific faith belief. And if that is not the thing, then what's the purpose of all of this shenanigan? We're just making a whole big shenanigan of a thing that, and then taking away the part that makes it the whole reason for it. It just makes no sense to me.
I think they were both kind of mockeries of the whole.
And that's what I want to ask the question about real quick. Where like you and like Johnny P, you and Quint said, or you and Q said that y'all think that she was faking, or that it was like the second woman. Like, is that something that we're just built to believe because we haven't seen it? Like, or we haven't experienced that? Because to me, it didn't seem that
she got to drop on her knees.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
I don't know.
I don't think she was forced to do that or anything.
It wasn't the words.
I don't think that she was forced either.
It wasn't the words. I'll submit to you. I'll be. But it's just the actions,
like how she did it,
and how demonstrative she was about doing it. That's what made it unbelievable.
So if a woman loves you that much that she's willing to get down on her knees and tell you when she's marrying you that she submits to you as you submit to Christ. That's what she said to the man. She said, I submit to you as you submit to Christ, to lead our household, to be the head of this family. That's what she was telling them. I don't see anything. I don't see that as like a fake thing.
I think that we're having two different conversations.
I think that what it is that it's something that we would never, you know what I mean? It's as Americans and Western culture, like that is something that we just, it's flabbergasted to, you know what I mean, to even see.
Well, but you can take it away from like Americans. I think that like a woman getting on both knees during the ceremony in itself in any country isn't a thing that happens.
I mean, I don't know.
So like you could like whether you want to look at like what the Indians do, and like they had like 2 separate ceremonies, but none
Wake
of
up.
It's like
Hey, who remember when
on their knees and like in essence like that action to me, nothing that she said, neither one of us are disagreeing with of like that sounds crazy or anything that. We're just talking about the action of how it was done.
Because if you listen to native-born Southern speakers, the average Southerner tends to sound more like this. What we call this moonlight.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like that's not an American thing. That's just it's an outlier of any marriage that you ever see.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I would like to go back to the American. Do you believe that a woman should make a vow to God that they'll be with a man for richer and for poor?
Do I think that a woman should make a vow?
And really, she's making a vow to the man. I think.
Personally,
it's in the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say personally, my thing is it depends on like that person's relationship with God. Like if you put God above everything else, then yes, because that's what you put. But if you don't value God and religion and spirituality that much, then you'll just go up there and say whatever. Like how many people put their hand on the Bible and lie? And so it's like just because you made a vow in front of God, if you don't really like believe in God, if you like,
so you're not doing it in front of God if you don't believe.
So if you go into church and do it, and like that's in front of God, but if you like,
yeah, I guess maybe the question would be like if that is her religious faith and belief, then yes, I think that it should be because they're doing like that version of a marriage, and it makes perfect sense. So if not, I think that both people should probably just write their own vows and agree to those vows, and then those be the vows that they go with.
And like not do it in the church. And like not doing it in the church, have like just a ceremony and like
I don't think that many marriages happen in churches no more.
No, that makes sense to like not do it in a church, do it like just a regular ceremony, and then just not use like any kind of like God things about it, and just like just speak directly to each other. And that I could see that. I could see what I could see that.
I got a couple conspiracy things sitting here, so let's see. Dang, I'm trying to decide which one to go with. I think I'm gonna go here though.
I have been saying this for so long, and finally, we have someone from inside the club come out and confirm that I have been saying this for so long, and finally, we have someone from inside the club come out and confirm that everything we're thinking is absolutely correct.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. Tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. They have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40-50%, in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment.
Is that not the conspiracy that we've all been talking about? Governments around the world actively trying to increase unemployment and cause pain to hundreds of millions of working people in order to scare them, to scare you into submission, to make you fear for your livelihood so that they and their corporate overlords can make even more money off of your labor. Speaking to those workers out there, I just want to remind you that you are already more productive than ever without getting paid for that increase in productivity. All of that wage growth is only going to the top 1%. CEOs are making 351 times more money than the average worker, up from just 21 times the average worker in 1965. Corporate profit is no longer correlated with employee compensation.
I feel like
it's a completely rigged neo-slavery system that they're trying to construct.
It was the topic that he all out. Lined up. That
it actually go with that and AI, but I don't think it's government conspiracy, but I think
that definitely sounded like just business. And I understood the concept. The concept was capitalism, actually.
Yeah, it's capitalism, but that's what like the employers like. People can't be like, if you don't want to work for the corporation, that's fine, but you're still gonna have to work. And I think that's the problem with like what they're talking about. People just don't necessarily want to work as hard anymore. So like if you're saying I'm not gonna work for this,
like this is kind of like a more of a push towards what they call them Gen Zers or some shit like that.
Yeah,
where there's an entitlement to employment that they now have.
Right.
I remember this shit kind of low key just happened at my job a little bit, where we did have some layoffs at my job, and like I also say my department, like I ain't about to complain about nothing because I know my job ain't really that hard. You feel what I'm saying? But there are some younger people who, you could hear the entitlement speak through them. And this is mind you, off the back of some layoffs. So it's like, low key, you should be happy that you're still here, low key. But with them, I think that they were like pushing for more compensation because now they got to go into the office. Even though like prior to COVID, everybody went in the office.
Right.
And they were speaking also just how like, well, my job's so hard. And to me, truthfully, the niggas that be answering phones, the salesmen, all of them, those niggas got a hard job.
Right.
Like you trying to convince somebody and speak to people, and like all I got to do is a product design. Ain't no human interaction. That shit easy.
Right.
But like hearing them, I'm like, and low key, the person that they was talking to kind of checked that. It was when it was like truthfully, to an extent, like y'all have the most worry-free job of everybody else. There are some more intensive jobs that get paid less than you that have more to worry about. And I'm not gonna. I do think that there is a specific employee entitlement. I'm not saying if it's right or wrong, but I do think that does exist for sure.
But also, you gotta be like, and what he's saying, like, you have to be careful because, like, nowadays, like, you say that, and like, the boss could like fire you and bring a computer in to do your job. And so, like,
that is the tough part.
Who are you to be like, sit up there and be like, well, I should get paid more because you should probably just be quiet and
appreciate the rest of the time you got left. But the thing, what was crazy about it? That man said 40 to 50%.
But it has to be because
no.
40 to 50%.
But that's what's going to change
of the population or the people that pretty much the unemployment rate being 40 to 50%.
That's how you get rid of that entitlement. Because people have to be broke.
No.
Yeah, they're trying to.
I understand.
You have to hit rock bottom to go up.
But the thing is about
you can't
that
go halfway down.
And I'll make two statements. So, the thing about that is that once they do it, the jobs won't come back because they're going to implement the AI. That's literally the technological advancements are definitely going to take the jobs. They're not going to get them back after that. Like we're going to stop the machines and let y'all go back to work and pay y'all more money with more benefits and more time off and less productive. But then we're gonna just.
I think Easton went. He got a little piece.
I didn't hear the video, but I'm assuming he's saying that if we fire a certain percentage of the workforce.
No.
Wait, so can explain it to me because I just want to understand.
If I try and do a rough synopsis, he was speaking more or less to the fact that corporations need to get the leverage from the employee. Okay. Where right now there's a certain level of entitlement that comes with employees. And employment probably needs to go up to a certain level to where the employer can get
unemployment. You mean
unemployment has to come up to a certain level to where the corporation has the power inside the paradigm.
And in the percentage was what again?
40 to 50%.
He said 40 to 50%. I don't believe that. That'd be crazy.
Right, so
he said then what it is now. So if it's 4% now, I think he's talking about going up to.
Like 7, 8. Yeah, 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't hear that.
Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think he's
talking. I was gonna say if you take it to 50%, you're talking about a complete revolution in this country where the poor would eat the rich, literally.
No, for sure.
We
would have to try to at the very least.
Or we could just like, and here's my thing, like if you got the entitlement for the jobs, cool, walk away and get replaced by the computer. But then, like you say, the job's not gonna come back. What are you gonna do then? Like after you just walk away from this job. that you're easily replaceable by a computer. If you're
be a modern man in the traditional world, you're gonna have to learn how to hunt. You're gonna have to learn how to get them hands rough and build some calories.
But you're gonna have to grind. Like it's gonna go back. Honestly, but it's gonna go back to what the forefathers did. Like the people who founded this country, like our grandfathers, great grandfathers, they probably
founded this country.
Well, the people who founded any country, people.
Oh, I thought anywhere. You said our great grandfathers founded this.
You know, honestly, in my opinion, I think
that. Talk to. I mean, depending on like, hey, just depending on who your source is, we was here first anyway. So.
Yeah, no, but what I would say to go back on the topic, I honestly what you just said. I honestly think that that's probably the smartest thing for us to do, especially as men. The smartest thing, in my opinion, is for us to go ahead and get some calluses. Go ahead and get back, because bro, the computer jobs, all of this, the talking on the phone stuff, bro, they're about to ramp that up, and those jobs will not be there. So they're gonna be the best thing for us to do is to go ahead and start those will be the last jobs that they can take. But like the like truck drivers, they're gonna have the highway. You know what I mean? They already got a company that's doing the long distance driving. That's one of the things that'll be around for a long time.
They don't have computers for that. They got.
Oh yeah, they've been.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the I understand that, but the trucks that they have, the automated trucks that they have are going to be doing long distance, so it'll be highway driving. I'm talking about inner city driving. Those jobs will stay around for a lot longer than say again,
a little bit longer, but
I don't.
They gonna get computers to do that as soon as they get them bad boys on the highway. They gonna
well, either way, even what I'm saying, like a plumber, electrician. These jobs, I'm talking about like skilled labor jobs. Skilled labor jobs is what I really mean. I'm not talking about specifically truck job, but skilled labor jobs. Those are the jobs that'll be around. But the majority of this stuff that we doing now, all this office work stuff, that stuff will be tapped.
And here's one I think that it makes so much sense with it, but we never know, like, and I'm not gonna go out there and start doing it next week, but like, go back to farming. Like we complain about all the chemicals that are in the food that we eat and how all of it's modified and stuff, and we're living in the age where a lot of our jobs are going to be replaced by AI.
For sure.
What else is there to do except like go back to like square one and like go back to farming and selling like just a free market system? And
I don't think that's the answer at all.
Why wouldn't it be?
How is it? Where is everybody gonna get all this land to be farming at? Niggas
they do vertical farming now. That's a big thing in a lot of big cities.
Okay,
and
I would like to see the math on how much land and space that you need to be able to feed yourself, and then multiply that by the population. Like I just don't think that there's enough. And then it's
small level farming. You don't need to have.
What's going to happen to
having a big area of land? If I got an acre, he got an acre, you got an acre.
But where are people getting these acres from? Is what I'm saying.
Real estate.
But if okay, but if we go back to the trucking, you want to know what the thing is? One of the major things that are making it to where AI has not yet taken over trucking. Unions.
I ain't even there yet.
You're not. Oh, he against unions?
I don't know.
You against unions?
We'll see. No, it's a tool. What up? No, it's just it's a tool, and I think it's one of the like. And we talk about.
I'm poking a bear. He know what I'm doing.
Real Republican.
Nah.
A real Republican.
No, I'm not anti-union or pro-union. I'm just speaking like on just breaking it down how it works. Well, like if. Like one of the only tools we have against capitalism is the unions.
For sure.
But you also got to balance that out with the technology that's coming and how replaceable,
So.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
People, no. Elaborate. Because go ahead and say
people, because the unions can tell all these people, hey, if they don't pay us this much, we're not going to go work.
But wouldn't that still? Well, I don't know how unions work, but as long as the unions have a contract with the job, they can't get replaced by robots, correct?
Right. That would be a part of
that'll probably be like a big part of like their collective bargaining agreement. Would have to be, we have a contract with this employer until X amount of date.
But if they're striking, what this?
But I think strikes usually happen during the collective bargaining agreement.
Right.
When they're trying to figure it out.
So right now they're trying to come back to an agreement.
Who is
the UAW, United Auto Workers?
Oh, is that what they're doing? Oh,
they're trying, and it's
so
like,
is this pod shit or is it not?
It's not. It's not. It's not.
Okay, so
we can do it now. Yeah, yeah.
All
We
right,
can do it now.
fuck it, we'll do it live.
If it, we'll do it live. But
so you lead in the AW?
No, I'm not leading it.
Thinking about it,
because I'm not sure where I land on it. I'm just breaking down like the system, like how it works. And so we're talking about capitalism. That is a tool against capitalism.
Yeah, and I guess what you're saying is that
if it gets deployed wrong, you then have to, because it's like war. You can have a tank, and just because you have a tank don't mean you're gonna win the war. But so you gotta know how to use the tank, and I guess you just gotta understand with AI and the new technology, the way that unions were rolled out in like the 1920s and the 1980s, it's gonna have to come a little differently. Because
now, what would you think would be different? And again, I guess to make sure that I clarify, so what you're talking about is that during collective bargaining agreements, if there is AI that is already in line to take your job, they'll be more likely to just go ahead and replace you instead of bargaining with you.
I mean, at the end of the day, if even that's what you got a better chance with the union than you do without it.
Yeah,
because at least you have a bargaining chip that we actually can have a conversation. Because these other people, they just gonna lose their jobs. It ain't gonna be nothing to be. Yeah, they just gonna lose their jobs. But at least maybe we can, maybe we do have to accept less in order to not be replaced. But that's better than them just go ahead and getting us out of here.
Just replace. Yeah, I mean, and that's why it's a tool against, because that's probably the only way you do have a chance.
Yeah.
Like,
but what you're saying is that they can't strong arm like they used to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They can't just like come in like the unions have way less power now with technology than they probably did 50, 60 years ago. But it's funny that like at least people are trying, because like we're hearing about the union. I hadn't heard anything about a union in like years.
What you mean? They've been okay.
Like striking and like
yeah.
Ain't that what the writers are doing right now?
The writers are doing it. The trucking industry is doing it during COVID.
I guess I look at Hollywood different, but I guess that is a union too.
Union. And they just got different words to it.
Yeah, you'll really hear about that.
Hell, UPS, the postal services was doing it. It's been a lot of
so unions. So they've been okay. So I guess this is my first time hearing about like
it's hitting home, my boy.
Well, yes, no, this my industry. So yeah, no, this is okay. Yeah, it's coming to. I'm like, oh shit. But I guess in other industries, there have been unions moving, but no, I guess they working, but it's just tough times out here nowadays, and like that entitlement thing. Like you can't be entitled because like the hard work will have to be done, and I think that's what gets lost in that. Where I don't want to work hard for this company, but I mean, whether you do it for that company or you go and do it for yourself and make it, the hard work gonna have to, like, there's a certain amount of hard work that has to be done to get to a certain level, no matter who you do it for, where you put that effort in. It just has to be.
Yeah, I think that like the continuous the innovation of technology, and like the more and more comfortable we become, the more entitled we'll become. Because we're entitled to luxury, to you know what I mean, the luxuries, and we're entitled to not having to do so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The more and more the technology advances, the more entitled we become as the generations go further and further. And I mean, at the end of it, I don't know what they're gonna do with the population of people. This unemployed 40 to 50% increase. I don't know what their plans are for that population of people, whether they're gonna do like a freedom dividend like Yang was talking, or how they gonna come up with it, but they're gonna have to come up with something. Before this happens, you know what I mean? They need to go ahead and start regulating, as we were speaking.
But why wouldn't them people have to do something?
What you mean?
Like, why is it on the government to do something to save these people? Why wouldn't it be on these people?
Corporations?
Or just anybody. Like if it's unemployed people.
Bro, it's not gonna work, bro. You talking about a system that we've been laborers forever, and then you just take that away. You want us to figure out how we can be laborers again? Without any help without any aid from any, you know what I mean, the government.
Why do we? I mean, I like, why are we depending on them? Like bro, if they cut the jobs and we depend on them, it's like that we'll always need them. Like you'll always need the system. You'll always need some kind of government to come in. What I'm saying
is that, like, at the end of the day, well, we already know the government doesn't run the country. The corporations run the country. So if the corporations decide that they're going to have cut back the employment, and then there'll be large populations of people that are unemployed, then at the very least, I would assume that the corporations would have to fund this government resource that they're going to provide to us. Does that make sense?
I don't agree because, but
the only way they're gonna have to do something through the government itself. There's gonna have to be some aid. How long does it take for us to figure out what's gonna work?
But I'm saying, but just like for you, for example, if you got fired from your job, what would you do the next day?
Try to figure it the fuck out. I mean,
exactly.
but how long? But what I'm saying, at the end of the day, everybody
you eventually figure it out, and you wouldn't sit and wait for the government to figure it out for you.
I would say, if you ain't been to the military, you better go.
Okay, but then people have figured out. But why does it have to be them? Like, well, the government should come and save these people.
The thing is, how long do you think it takes a people? Because everybody ain't gonna have the same, you know what I mean, mindset. Everybody ain't gonna think about how long does it take for a person's mindset to change from how many generations of laborers
called this shit?
Say again?
You know what Darwin called this shit?
Bruh.
Survival of the fittest. You better figure this shit out. Like, I mean,
nigga, you better be fit then, nigga. That's all I'm saying. Your ass, you might want to hit the gym for shit pop off, because nigga be done goddamn lifted you up off your feet.
Nah, I feel it. Well, I think that'd be a good place to land the plane. That's on that topic. We'll be back. Nah, let me stop.
Hey, Toe, can I go next?
Nah, I already got it while y'all niggas was arguing. I think that this is. I want to do just those two right there. But start with that one.
All right.
I'd like to get y'all opinion on this. Johnny would probably start.
The shit together, bro. You just don't have to deal with certain shit. You got all this going on for yourself, and you finna settle for a single mother. God finna punish you for that one, boy.
God,
boy, I gave you these riches. I gave you this kind of mindset, and you just wasted it on another man's children.
That's crazy.
Why not take care of your own children? I don't want to join another family, bro. I want to create my own family, G. And if you shame me for that, that's okay. You settle her. Why are you settling with a woman with kids, bro? You think I'm about to settle with a woman with kids, bro? And I don't have.
What you think, Johnny?
That's a valid point. I mean,
that's how you live your life.
I mean,
hey, he ready. Hey, he can get his feet ready. He about to walk that rope. Go ahead. You mean what?
No, I mean, like, my thing is, as a man, why would I ask somebody, like, if I wasn't 100% and like if that wasn't what I wanted? So like, I feel them about like settling, like waiting, like just because you're in your 30s or like why settle like if for something that you don't necessarily
you're gonna settle anyway,
like won't, but at least settle with like if that's one of your lines.
Well, we talking about you right now,
you specifically.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. Like I probably wouldn't.
So no single women with kids.
I ain't gonna say no, but
so what are you saying?
That was the whole point of the thing, Johnny.
All right, tight roping. Go ahead.
I told you he was gonna get his.
He said I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah,
I ain't saying no.
Yeah, but no, that's not a preference.
I think that's a fair. I think usually no single guy with no kids, their preference wouldn't be.
Right.
I'm trying to like get a shorty with one.
I ain't saying I get everything I want every single time, but
right. So what I'm asking you right now is, would you be would you be willing to be with the right woman that has a kid,
2 kids?
See, nah, I'm gonna say no. No, I'm with bro. I'm with bro.
Yeah, nah.
Like if I got a preference, like it's like
okay. So you're not willing to date a woman that has 2 kids. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What age range are you typically trying to date?
28 to 38, probably.
You already know.
Okay. All right. So would you be willing to date a woman that has 1 kid?
Oh no, bro. Like, I mean,
what you mean? Like, you're literally dating right now. How do you not know this? You don't be thinking about what you want to date, or what you willing to not date.
I would date a woman with one kid. Like, I would date, but he's talking about marrying. And like,
so what's the point of dating her if you're gonna not trying to marry her?
So you wouldn't marry a woman that has a kid?
I don't know.
Nigga Johnny crazy. Why are you acting like this the first time you ever could have thought of this?
And we done had conversations like this many times.
Because I don't know. Like, it's cool to say I don't know. Like, it's cool not to have a like.
Nah, that's the easy answer.
Like, it really is. Like, you know if that's something that you would do or you wouldn't do.
Cool to say.
Try to wiggle out
I don't know. I told you no, and then y'all was like, well, it was a bunch
just
of
stand
other
in your
questions.
square. Like, if you think that you won't marry,
tell them now, bro.
It was a bunch of other questions after it when I said that's my preference, and then what about the one? And then it started getting all these what ifs and what ifs.
It wasn't a bunch of them. We just said 2 kids, and then we said 1 kid.
So I said
you just squirming a little bit.
I want my own family. How about that?
And I mean, at the end of the day,
ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
it only gets slippery when you sliding.
Yeah, when you got to say it out loud in front of people, and then you know we ain't live. Then that's when
you like
that tightrope come out.
I don't care, but I'm just trying to go back and think if I've ever meshed. Like, I've talked to women with kids before and stuff, so it's not.
We're just saying if Shorty was perfect, but she had a daughter, a 5-year-old daughter. You like everything about her, but you wouldn't marry her just because she got that daughter. The co-parenting situation was copacetic. Everything was cool.
And now the more I think about it, because like when I've done it, the kids were small, but like I'm thinking about like you messing with a woman and she got a 13-year-old. That gets way more complicated than a woman with a baby. Like it's a little easier when it's a baby and he ain't talking and or
but that's when the baby daddy still be fresh.
Yeah,
they still might be messing around.
That's true. Yeah, but like when the kid gets older, then it's like it's a little, to me, I would imagine it's more complicated because you're more involved with the kid. The kid has feelings. If the kid don't like you, there might be static there. So I got
a question. Do you only look at dating as like fucking? Like I'm trying to like hang around for a little bit, fuck, and then leave. Because like, it doesn't even sound like the way you explaining it sounds like you just thinking about fucking for a little bit, and then like how easy is my exit plan gonna be?
Well, not about, but that's what I'm saying. If I'm talking about marrying for a long time, I don't want a woman with kids because to me that's gonna complicate that shit.
No, it definitely complicates.
So to me, if I'm talking about marriage, I'm talking in the past. What I have been on, it wasn't as big of an issue because I didn't really care about none of that. But now I'm looking at like marriage and starting my own family and trying to be the leader of this group or one of the teammates of this group, and you got some little person here that I ain't really have no influence on. That's gonna complicate.
You said this little person here. All right, so ladies, single moms, y'all heard it here first. Johnny P is not for the single ladies, but all women
for the single ladies.
I mean, single moms. But you know,
you go
30 plus women.
That's why you was tight. I got it. I understood.
30 plus women with no kids
doing the same thing.
Johnny P is there. What do you think about the people that say that the older a woman gets that doesn't have kids, that she might be leftovers, and it's something like dramatically possibly wrong
is that
to why she hasn't had it? Yeah, like the 33, 34, 35 year olds.
Who's they?
The internet.
Who said that?
The internet.
Oh no, bro. We bought at an age, right? We right in the cusp of an age where you ain't got no kids at this
it might
point.
be a reason.
Yeah. I want.
How you feel? How you feel about dating like really strong, dominant women?
No, he likes to be dominated.
They weigh 200 pounds.
Oh,
that's what I heard.
BDSM Johnny,
especially if they weigh 200 pounds.
6'2".
Oh no, I can't.
Choke him up on the.
I can't do.
It was only one thing he denied. Just did. All the rest of that shit flew. As soon as we got the 6'2", hey, you going too far?
He 200. He didn't even say the 6'2". He was cool with that. He said the 200. He cool with the trees, bro.
Oh no, he was cool with the 200. It was the trees that he don't fuck with.
200.
Oh, that's what it was.
200 was cutting it. 5'4", 200. That's not.
I can't. I got to be able to lift.
5'4", my brother.
I have to be able to lift.
Okay, Johnny, we can get to you. I know we spent a little time on that one, and we ain't gotta go to the next
one. Oh, that's funny.
What you got?
Good one.
Got Johnny over here sweating and everything.
Yeah, he is.
My boy over here perspiring and everything.
Oh,
I see the real Steph Curry.
Go to the messages, bro, because I don't see the one I sent.
Say cruise the real.
Yeah, click that one right there. Bless 26. I want to start with that one.
Oh, I screenshotted this and I wanted to send this one in too. This like they wild. They wild. Them folks is wild. Let the people see, John. Tone.
Dang.
Yeah, them folks is wild.
My coach has 10 toes.
Them niggas be wild,
bro.
Dang.
That's cold. That's out cold. Bro.
Yeah, I seen that. I literally screenshot that and I want to send it in.
Bro, 10 toes down. That would have been the one.
That's out cold.
Yeah.
Nah, that's stone.
That's out cold. Now go up. I got one more. I wanna.
Man, we ain't gonna just pass by this real quick. We got to shout out my boy.
Cruz.
We got to shout out my boy. Dog. Before Steph and Trey, let's not forget who invented
that
the
motherfucker.
Oh yeah, you got that step back on him and
Timo Cruz.
On the fast break.
On the break.
Cruz, what's your biggest fear?
My nigga, he had to throw a quick little 1,000 push-ups to get back in, but you know what I mean. Sometimes it is what it is.
I'll do push-ups, coach.
My boy, he took a swing at him.
Yeah,
Sam hemmed him, but he took a swing.
You uppity Negro, sir.
Hey, go back up. I got one more funny one. Then I'm gonna get into the real one. Yeah, click that one right there.
What, this one?
The one about the feminist. The one below it.
Right here.
No, the one below it.
Right here, right.
Yeah.
Oh, you a feminist?
Name every woman.
Whitney Houston.
She did. I am every woman.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's fucking hilarious.
Nah. That was one of the corny jokes, you know, like
that one was
you know, every once in a while you like a corny joke, but that was
I kind of get it.
That shit had me chuckling at the job, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I get it. I like some corny jokes.
I chuckled. I chuckled at that one. I was like, name every woman. I was like, that's. And then I saw Whitney Houston. I was like, oh, see what they did there. And let me get my boy with the small mic.
Right here, right.
Right there, yeah. Mm-hmm. Bro be on some dope shit.
Pardon.
In Japan this morning, a nuclear plant destroyed by an earthquake and tsunami back in 2011 started releasing water that had been exposed to radiation into the Pacific Ocean. It's a release that follows months of debate and strong opposition from fishing interests who say this is very bad for business. And China has already reacted by banning all seafood imported from the country of Japan. Elizabeth Palmer visited the site earlier this year.
Experts for TEPCO, the company in charge, explained they've collected so much radioactive water from rain and runoff over the years, they kept having to add tanks to contain it. Now these tanks are almost full of water. More than 1 million tons of it. And TEPCO says the only solution is to start getting rid of it by piping it into the sea next to the plant. For Haru Ono, who's been fishing this ocean all his life, that is an outrage. It's not a garbage dump, he tells me. They say it's safe, but the consequences could be 50 years down the road. There will be no consequences, says TEPCO, because its technology removes all radioactive compounds from the water except one, tritium, which stays in but is diluted to meet international standards. So even when the water is piped back into the sea, TEPCO says fish from Fukushima will be safe to eat.
Shit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't eat that. That's just me. I would not touch them fish. I'm also no scientist either. They're saying that it's safe, right? And I looked it up, and that tritium, that whatever they're dumping into the ocean, that's left over, it's somewhat normal. A lot of countries do that, right? And it's supposed to meet some like standard level. But the amount that Japan is doing, that area is doing, is the issue here, right? So again, I don't know. I would like to hear from, like, if you live in Japan, I want to hear your thoughts on that. Arigato gozaimasu. Because if that happened in the U.S., I'll tell you right now, I would never eat fish again. I just don't trust these large companies to tell the truth about stuff. And I believe that company TEPCO, anyways, had transparency issues back then when that earthquake happened. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts below. Also, that's all I'm saying. Shit's getting weird.
That was a funny way to finish it off.
I just think that that's a lot of water because and there's no
I had
way.
an Asian joke that came to me when I was in there, but I don't want to get hints at it this week. Go ahead.
I was like, you always have a couple of jokes. I was trying to put one in there too. I'm gonna stop. I was about to try to put one in there too. I'm gonna stop. That was better go left.
That's why I stopped too. I say,
but that's just and it just ain't no way that's not gonna affect anybody other than Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like they putting all that shit in the water, and it's just like, damn, man, it's just they ain't really no safe place.
Yeah, no.
Like in the world that ain't really been contaminated by people. And
It's
like the shit that we do, like even like the fish, the lakes, they say you can go in like the very bottom of the ocean. They still got those forever chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's supposed to be the purest spring water. They tested it, got forever chemicals in it, shit like that. So we just
it's getting hard to have faith in, you know what I mean, the trajectory of, you know what I mean? It's like, dang. And it was before I had kids, that was one of the things I had thought about, because like having kids, that was like a conversation. Like, dang, do I really want to have to think about like where this place is going? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I did it and made the decision, so I'm hoping for the best. But it's hard to have any confidence in like where we're headed at this point.
I don't know. I guess if I'm branching off of like the last thing you said, I think we have similar opinions on the toxic dump waste thing, and it's crazy that they said, well, we ain't had nothing else to do but to just dump it in the ocean. But I'm always on the side of like, oh well, shit, we've had like many arguments on this podcast about it. Are we in the best of times, worst of times?
Mm-hmm.
In which I think we're in a pivotal time more than anything. In which it's going to be interesting to see which way we pivot from here, for sure. I don't know, fellas, y'all want to wrap up on a couple of low-hanging fruit things. So I guess as you pull this up,
I actually got one like good.
We have the Remy Ma. Did Remy Ma cheat?
Oh, buddy, how we skip that? We can't skip that. We got to talk about Remy.
I heard that she cheated on Papoose with the Android version.
They gotta always. Hey, and I seen the meme. Was it a meme? Oh, it was something about it was a meme where they were talking about how excited iPhone users get when they get a new feature that Android always had, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in the comments, the iPhone people was trying to make it seem like, oh, they're so innocent. You know how y'all do too. Y'all be, and I was like, matter of fact, yeah, that's exactly what was happening. And I was like, yeah, y'all just be the niggas in the back of the class throwing paper balls, and then when you turn around and see the nigga hand, he want to act like he don't want smoke. That's exactly what y'all are. The niggas that sit in the back of the class and throw paper balls all day, and then when you turn around and see the nigga hand coming back, you want to act like you don't want smoke.
Oh no, I like I can easily keep going about like Android jokes. I just feel like we be beating it sometimes, so I don't be trying to be like a bully.
In general, iPhone users are the ones making all of the jokes, and then when somebody actually says something, then they like, oh, look at them, they're all like, come on, bro.
I didn't know that iPhone users be like that. I thought we be dragging our nuts sometimes.
But it don't just be all right, whatever. I don't want to get into the whole that part. I'm just talking about the idea, like y'all be the ones talking the whole time, and then as soon as somebody says something, then y'all act like y'all feel attacked.
Talk about when do we?
Hey, Q just threw one out in the first listen.
The funny thing is,
like he just threw one out in the first listen. I was watching it.
I'm sure it's always good places for
you
jokes.
See, and then niggas act innocent, like, oh no, what are we doing?
It was something.
When does that ever happen? That never happens. So what are you talking about? These niggas is special, bro. Special kind of people, bro.
That's not what I didn't act like I didn't or I don't. what I said is that typically now I just try to avoid it because I know it's gonna go into like this. And like we've done enough to where it's like, I if y'all want me to like actually lean in more to like the Android jokes
first, and then
it is I can do that, but I be trying to spare y'all. But then like y'all, I be trying to spare y'all.
Okay,
but
let's not have the Civil War. Like,
but hold on, what was it?
What we was talking about?
Remy Ma. That she I don't know. It seemed like something that everybody was laughing at. They said that she definitely has a type.
Say she cheated on.
He looked just like Papoose, but like a worse version.
The Walmart version.
Yeah, like the Great Value version.
My whole thing is Papoose being one of the most loyal guys. Like,
and it's sad. I hope it's a lie because of that. Actually,
I mean, like Papoose being loyal as a mug. Like he held down a woman. Like women, if you want to know why men ain't holding you down 6 years while you locked up. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, like that's the
I'm gonna need my old lady not to get 6 years, bro. I don't know what you think gonna pop off.
Well, it's cause, but she
I don't go and get 6.
Well, it's because she ain't snitch.
Just being honest, don't go and get 6. It's not gonna
it
work.
It ain't going down. Pat different, bro. That's all. Like, man, that's messed up. I like, yeah, that's messed up.
I guess so. Tone. I say let's get to your Jones.
Any of them y'all want to do first? Because I think this is a good one to end with.
All right, that's cool with me.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna end with this one then. I think this is on a positive.
If I were to
let me pause that first.
Hey yo.
Morning, think about this. Wired it over to you. Would you wake up seeing that transfer and celebrate? Would that make your morning? Most likely, if you really put yourself in thought on this, the answer is yes. You would celebrate. So here's a kicker with that money. I'm going to give you that $1 million, but you got to take this pill. And taking this pill, you're only going to have 24 hours to live. Would you take the deal? $1 million, only one more day to live. Now, most of you are saying no. So you would choose life over $1 million. So are you waking up celebrating that you got a new day of life? Like you would if you woke up to $1 million, considering that you would choose life over the $1 million. If I were to give you $1 million tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about
that? I like that. That's the attitude of gratitude.
Yeah, it definitely put me in a different thought process this week when I seen it. And he's like the second person I've seen say this, but it was just like when it came up, I was like, yeah, I got to share this with the show. Like it put me in a different thought process. Because when he asked that first question, I thought about like how I really would react getting, like if I woke up and I went to my phone and my bank account say I got $1 million. I done woke up over way less than that, excited. But I'm like on an everyday basis, it ain't like that. And I do be thinking about it. Like, yeah, somebody was like, I woken up excited about $200. But if somebody was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you this $200, but you're not gonna have your life, you know, you gotta take this, you got this pill and you got 24 hours to live with that 200, then that wouldn't be the thing.
Oh yeah, no, you always gotta, find something to be thankful about. And like you say, every 24 a new chance. So no matter what you gotta, a lot of times we get so caught up in what we got to do during the day that when we first wake up, we don't give ourselves that opportunity to just enjoy.
Or even caught up in what we haven't accomplished or what we don't have, like all type of stuff. A lot of it is like what we don't have. Like that's what a lot of people think about mostly.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid. I don't know. It seemed like maybe it's like a contingency fallacy or something like that. It front loads like a situation to make you feel better about a situation later, in which, like, I don't know, I guess like it works well when it comes down to like being able to justify a space or a moment, but like the assumption is like you're getting $1 million. Would you feel happy? Of course, like it's based off a bunch of givens, in which I don't know. I put that in the fake deep box right there. I'm sorry.
I don't think that's fake deep. Like it's like
no, I mean I get what they're saying. Like the idea.
Oh no, I get it. Like you should appreciate life and but
I understand what you're saying.
He's talking about the setup. He's talking about how you got to the actual good stuff.
Because of course, there's gonna be we take for granted. We definitely take for granted every day, and I get that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree with that point.
The time
I think that's all the point was.
Yeah, but I mean, this could have been the example, which is kind of like he could have used something that would have just actually been just deep all the way.
Something that I could have felt.
Yeah, that
in
you
my
could
heart.
feel like that was. But I still, I ain't mad at him.
I felt it. I thought about like how, like even like putting it in my own situation, because like I said, I've reacted like that over way less than $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've had days too where I woke up and I took a negative attitude throughout the whole day, not like just taking for granted the fact that I even woke up. Like there's been plenty of times I realized, even without him saying it, there's been plenty of times where I realized, man, I'm taking for granted being alive. Or even like people, like if you've seen people who've been in prison like a long time and then they get out, like people in prison to tell you for real, like especially the ones who really come out with a different mindset, like how much of a waste of time it is that you, like how much stuff you're missing out on. You don't even know you're missing out on while you locked up. So it's like just thinking about those things.
So no, and I agree. I just think that he used too much of an exaggerated point in comparison to where like there's so many things, because I agree with the point, but I think that there be so many different things that I go through on a daily that like perspective can give me a better perspective on it. Like simple things where for like this will be like the easiest one that we all experience and have experienced, where like say you hate your damn car and you be complaining about that bitch, but you gas it up and that bitch be riding. That moment that it fuck up, you be like, damn, I just want you to get me from here to there, just this one time and just make it there. And there's nothing more that you wanted to do in life but that. And that's like the idea of gratitude in itself, where it's wrapped up in the fact that you took for granted all those other times. Hell, you complained about it so many times, but the reality is that what the value that it brung is something that you wouldn't want to have replaced. You see how I was deeper than that goddamn Paul Bunyan ass nigga? Oh, my bad. I'm joking. But I agree with the sentiment nonetheless. I don't know. Is this pin time, Johnny?
I think we'll wrap it up, man. That was epic. We'll do it live. We did it live. Tap in D2B Fair Show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that.
And before we get out of here, Jeezy took the Johnny approach and said, F that Asian.
No more trapper tie. Hey, we out. We out.